Hey guys, it's Heat here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we are going to be going back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the original one, again, and we're going to be finally tackling the question of who actually wins the battle on the mission Enemy of My Enemy. So, this is a question people have asked me like a long time ago, like years ago, and I never got around to tackling it until now. So, this takes place right after the mission Loose Ends, where General Shepard betrays you, and he wants to basically clean house and take out Makarov at the same time, which leads to this next mission with Captain Price and Soap. On this mission, Makarov's men and General Shepard's Shadow Company are basically fighting each other, and you're right in the crossfire of all of them. Now, normally on this mission, most people probably either just run through this part and just ignore most of the enemies, or maybe take a few of them out, or some people are like perfectionists and take out every single enemy. But what if you just don't do anything and you kind of just let the AIs battle it out? Who actually wins? Does Shadow Company win, or does Makarov's men win? So this battle, well, there's several battles going on in each section of the mission, so these take a while, so I'm just going to speed it up for the sake of time. There's not really like a lot going on. It's mostly just them like evading each other for like half the time, but yeah, it does go on for quite a while, and they all have such bad aim that the fight can last for like easily like over 10 minutes, and it's just usually them like taking cover, maybe firing a couple shots, and then running back to cover and so on. But that's what happened with this first battle, and we're down to just one of Makarov's men versus several of Shadow Company, and he's taking cover here, and he finally dies to a grenade. So the first battle, well, Shadow Company wins. Now let's continue on to the next section. In the next section, we have another battle going on here, and this one I thought at first, like, it really seemed like Shadow Company had the advantage, and I think they had more people at first, but their AIs, well, really all the AIs make such like terrible decisions and either just like walk onto a grenade or just run out into the open for no reason. And it eventually gets to the point where Shadow Company, they lose like most of their forces. Like they had the upper hand at first, and I think they got Makarov's men down to like just two people, and somehow Makarov's men just wipes out like the rest of Shadow Company here. But it eventually gets down to just a 2v1, and eventually this one Shadow Company member takes out one of the last two of Makarov's men here, leaving it to be a 1v1 between one Shadow Company and one of Makarov's men. And as a result, that particular part of the battle took quite a while, and they I mean, it hasn't quite gotten to that point yet, but you'll see in a second. So that happened right there. The second one died, and now it's just a 1v1, and these two, they just run around the map for quite a while, which is why I had to speed this up. But they just kind of just like go in circles around the maps, changing cover, and then just chasing each other around, and it really takes quite a while for this to complete. But eventually, Makarov's last men here, he throws a random grenade, and, well, as you're about to see, that random grenade lands right over there, and it will be fine, actually. It's like the Shadow Company member, he's like hiding in a safe area, and he just runs out onto the grenade and dies. So that second battle, Makarov's men wins. Next battle here, this one takes place over a large area, so I try to go back and forth between the two sides, but obviously I can't do that. So you just have to like watch a little bit here, watch a little bit there. But this one also takes quite a while. In fact, I think this battle takes the longest out of all the battles, because not only are there more people doing the same like staying in cover most of the time deal, but when it gets down to like the last like few people, compared to the previous battles, they I don't know, they just take a very, very long time to start fighting each other. And like I said, AIs in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, especially like when fighting each other, they seem to have such bad aim. Now, it could be because I'm playing on recruit difficulty, but I wasn't sure if that like affected like AIs against each other. I thought that usually only affected AIs against the player, but I could be wrong. But either way, this battle takes a while. And I'm pretty sure I did try like veteran before, and I don't think it made much of a difference with the AIs. That they just against each other, that they just don't really know what to do. Like they just have all these maneuvers just to try to, you know, like take cover and hide, and that really drags out the battle. But anyways, in this case, Shadow Company, they do gain the upper hand, and they're down to like about 3 people against 1 of Makarov's henchmen. And that leads us to the end of this battle here. So that last member of Makarov's henchmen in this area, he's standing right there by the barrels, and one of Shadow Company throws a random grenade like behind him, and it blows up, and he dies. So that is the end of this battle here, the longest battle. In the next section, this one, there's just a few of Makarov's men, and they easily get overwhelmed and wiped out by Shadow Company here. This one's like not even like a competition, really. In fact, like very quickly we get down to the last person here, and he just tries to run to cover there, and then runs back, and then, well, doesn't didn't do that right, basically. But if we push ahead a little bit, the rest of Makarov's men, the rest of Shadow Company here, they get swarmed by a whole new wave of Makarov's henchmen. And at this point, Shadow Company pretty much gets wiped out here. And yeah, they don't stand a chance against this new squad. And really, like, the rest of Shadow Company's falling back anyways, but the ones that don't fall back as quickly, well, they don't last very long against this new wave. So that takes us to the next section, really the last section here. This section, it's kind of odd, actually. This battle goes pretty quickly, but it's hard to tell who actually won, because after a while, it seems like everyone just, you know, despawns and disappears, except for like the 2 like vans or trucks with machine gun turrets on it, which I believe belong to Shadow Company. So that leads us to the end here, where a huge squad of Shadow Company runs in anyways and kind of completely takes over this area. And just like no other, I mean, pretty much just no one left of Makarov's henchmen. So I think at this point it's pretty much safe to say that they all got wiped out, and Shadow Company pretty much wins this fight. They may have lost a couple battles in the area due to some incompetence on their part, really. But overall, they just have much more overwhelming numbers and much more like advanced vehicles and weaponry. And yeah, they just, you know, the Makarov's men just really, they didn't stand a chance. I mean, they put up a good fight, but Shadow Company just has the overwhelming numbers in this case. So, like I said, I think it's safe to say that ultimately Shadow Company wins the battle on Enemy of My Enemy. If you don't interfere, if you don't mess with them at all, you just let them do their thing, ultimately, most of the battles, it's going to be Shadow Company that wins, with a couple exceptions here and there. But it is mostly random, actually, so it's not like scripted for one side to win or the other, but that's just what happened in this playthrough. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it to be interesting. If you did, make sure to leave a like, leave your thoughts and comments. Anything else we check out a link to, just let me know in the comments down below. But aside from that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.